Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Marilyn Manson. Brian Hugh Warner, known professionally as Marilyn Manson, is an American singer, songwriter, musician, composer, actor, painter, author and former music journalist. He is known for his controversial stage personality and image as the lead singer of the band Marilyn Manson, which he co-founded with guitarist Daisy Berkowitz, and of which he remains the only constant member. His stage name was formed by combining and juxtaposing the names of two American pop cultural icons, actress Marilyn Monroe and cult leader Charles Manson. He is best known for his band's records released in the 1990s. Most notably Antichrist Superstar and Mechanical Animals, which, along with his public image, earned him a reputation in the mainstream media as a controversial figure and an allegedly negative influence on young people. In the US alone, 3 of the band's albums have been awarded platinum and 3 more went gold. And the band has had 8 releases debut in the top 10, including 2 #1 albums. Manson has been ranked number 44 in the top 100 heavy metal vocalists by Hit Parade, and has been nominated for 4 Grammy Awards. Manson made his film debut in 1997 as an actor in David Lynch's Lost Highway. Since then he has appeared in a variety of minor roles and cameos. He was interviewed in Michael Moore's political documentary Bowling for Columbine, discussing possible motivations for the 1999 Columbine massacre, and allegations that his music was somehow a factor. On September 13 to 14, 2002, his first art show, The Golden Age of Grotesque, was held at the Los Angeles Contemporary Exhibition Center. Manson revealed a series of 20 paintings in 2010 entitled Genealogies of Pain. An exhibition showcased at Kunsthal Gallery in Vienna, Austria, which the artist collaborated on with David Lynch. Music. Warner and guitarist Scott "Daisy" Berkowitz Putowski formed Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids following conversations at the Reunion Room in Fort Lauderdale, Florida in 1989. The name was later shortened to Marilyn Manson. While with the Spooky Kids, Manson teamed with Geordie White and Stephen Gregory Beer Jr. in 2 side projects, Satan on Fire, a folk Christian metal ensemble, where he played bass guitar and drums in Mrs. Scabtree, a collaborative band formed with White and then-girlfriend Jessica as a way to combat contractual agreements that prohibited Marilyn Manson from playing in certain clubs. In 1993, the band drew the attention of Trent Reznor. Reznor produced their 1994 debut album, Portrait of an American Family, and released it on his Nothing Records label. The band began to develop a cult following, which grew larger on the Downward Spiral tour that featured 9 Inch Nails and Jim Rose Circus, along with the release of Smells Like Children in 1995. That EP yielded the band's first big MTV hit with Sweet Dreams, a cover of the 1983 Eurythmics hit. Antichrist Superstar was an even greater success. In the US alone, 3 of the band's albums have been awarded 2 platinum, and 3 more went gold, and the band has had 7 releases debut in the top 10, including 2 #1 albums. Manson first worked as a producer with the band Jack Off Jill. He helped name the band and produced most of the band's early recordings, and also played guitar on the song My Cat, and had the band open most of his South Florida shows. Manson later wrote the liner notes to the band's album Humid Teenage Mediocrity 1992 to 1996, a collection of early Jack Off Jill recordings. Manson has appeared as a guest performer on DMX's album Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, and on Godhead's 2000 Years of Human Error album, the only album released on his Vanity label. Posthuman. In 2011 it was revealed that Manson was to appear on the singer Skylar Grey's album Invincible on the track entitled Can't Haunt Me. Manson released his 8th studio album, Born Villain, in May 2012. On November 10, 2014, Manson posted via his official Facebook page that his 9th studio album, The Pale Emperor, would be released on January 20, 2015. On August 15, 2015, Manson had New Orleans brass ensemble The Soul Rebels perform Beautiful People with him live in Japan at the Summer Sonic Music Festival. Shooter Jennings' album, Contouch, features Manson performing guest vocals on a cover of David Bowie's Cat People. The album was released on February 26, 2016. Film and television. Manson made his film debut in 1997, as an actor in David Lynch's Lost Highway. Since then he has appeared in a variety of minor roles and cameos, including Party Monster, then-girlfriend Rose McGowan's 1999 film Jawbreaker, Asia Argento's 2004 film The Heart is Deceitful Above All Things, Rise, The Higher, Beat the Devil, the 6th installment in the BMW film series, and Showtime's comedy-drama TV series Californication in 2013, in which Manson portrayed himself. He also appeared on HBO's Eastbound and Down, of which Manson is reportedly a longtime fan, and had lobbied to appear on for years, and ABC's Once Upon a Time, for which he will provide the voice of the character, Shadow. He was interviewed in Michael Moore's political documentary Bowling for Columbine, discussing possible motivations for the Columbine massacre, and allegations that his music was somehow a factor. He has appeared in animated form in Clone High, and participated in several episodes of the MTV series Celebrity Deathmatch. Becoming the show's unofficial champion and mascot, he often performed the voice for his claymated puppet, and contributed the song, Astonishing Panorama of the End Times, to the soundtrack album. In July 2005, Manson told Rolling Stone that he was shifting his focus from music to filmmaking. "I just don't think the world is worth putting music into right now. I no longer want to make art that other people, particularly record companies, are turning into a product. I just want to make art." Johnny Depp reportedly used Manson as his inspiration for his performance as Willy Wonka in the film Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Manson himself expressed interest in playing the role of Willy Wonka in the film. He had been working on his directorial debut, Phantasmagoria: The Visions of Lewis Carroll, a project that has been in development hell since 2004, with Manson also set to portray the role of Lewis Carroll, author of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Initially announced as a web-only release, it was later decided to give the estimated $4.2 million budget film a conventional cinema release, with a slated release date of mid-2007. The film was to have an original music soundtrack, with previously unreleased songs. Production of the film had been postponed indefinitely until after the Eat Me, Drink Me tour. In 2010, studio bosses shut down production on the project, reportedly due to viewers' responses to the violent content of clips released on the internet. The film was later officially put on indefinite production hold. However, according to a 2010 interview with co-writer Anthony Silver about the hold, the film was still on, and the talk of it being shut down was just a myth. In a June 2013 interview, Manson stated that he had resurrected the project, and that Roger Avary would direct it. In a separate interview during the previous year, he said a small crew similar to what he used for his SLO Motian music video would be used, and would rather film the movie on an iPhone than not film it at all. In a Reddit armor with Billy Corgan on April 4, 2015, Marilyn Manson commented that he had withdrawn from the project because the writing process for the film was so damaging to my psyche. I've decided I don't want to have anything to do with it. And further commented that the only footage that had been created thus far had been content created for the trailer, which was made in order to promote the film. Manson appeared in the final season of the TV series Sons of Anarchy portraying Ron Tully, a white supremacist. In January 2016, it was announced that Manson would be joining the cast for Season 3 of WGN's Salem. Manson will play Thomas Diddley, the go-to man in Salem, from a shave and a haircut to being leech bled, sliced open or sewn up. Art. Manson stated in a 2004 interview with ID magazine to have begun his career as a watercolor painter in 1999 when he made 5-minute concept pieces and sold them to drug dealers. On September 13 to 14, 2002, his first show, The Golden Age of Grotesque, was held at the Los Angeles Contemporary Exhibition Center. Art in America's Max Henry likened them to the works of a psychiatric patient given materials to use as therapy and said his work would never be taken seriously in a fine art context, writing that the value was in their celebrity, not the work. On September 14 to 15, 2004, Manson held a second exhibition on the first night in Paris and the second in Berlin. The show was named Trismegistus, which was also the title of the centerpiece of the exhibit, a large three-headed Christ painted onto an antique wood panel from a portable embalmer's table. Manson named his self-proclaimed art movement Celebritarian Corporation. He has coined a slogan for the movement: "We will sell our shadow to those who stand within it." In 2005 he said that the Celebritarian Corporation has been incubating for 7 years, which if correct would indicate that Celebritarian Corporation, in some form, started in 1998. Celebritarian Corporation is also the namesake of an art gallery owned by Manson, called the Celebritarian Corporation Gallery of Fine Art in Los Angeles, for which his third exhibition was the inaugural show. From April 2 to 17, 2007, his recent works were on show at the Space 39 Modern and Contemporary Art Gallery in Fort Myers, Florida. 40 pieces from this show traveled to Germany's Gallery Brigitte Schenk in Cologne, to be publicly exhibited from June 28 to July 28, 2007. Manson was refused admittance to Kölner Dom when he was in the city to attend the opening night. This was, according to Manson, because of his makeup. Manson revealed a series of 20 paintings in 2010 entitled Genealogies of Pain, an exhibition showcased at Vienna's Kunsthal Gallery which the artist collaborated on with David Lynch. Video games. Manson has made an appearance in the video game Area 51 as Edgar, a gray alien. His song, Crucifixion in Space, is featured in a commercial for a video game, The Darkness. His likeness is also featured on the Celebrity Deathmatch video game for which he recorded a song for the soundtrack. The song, Use Your Fist and Not Your Mouth, was the credits score of the game Cold Fear as well as Spawn, Armageddon. The song, For Rusted Horses, had an alternate version used in trailers for the video game Fear 3. A remix of the song, Tainted Love, appears in the debut trailer for the game, Need. for Speed, Hot Pursuit and in the launch trailer of Twisted Metal. Manson's song, The Beautiful People, was featured in WWE SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, Kickbeat, and Brutal Legend. The song, Armagoddam Motherfucking Geddon, is also featured in Saints Row the Third. His music video to the song, Personal Jesus, was used in some parts of the Buzz game series. Other ventures. Manson launched Mansoner, his own brand of Swiss-made absinthe, which has received mixed reviews. Some critics describe the taste as being just plain, but it came second to Versaner in an absinthe top 5 and won a gold medal at the 2008 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Other reviewers, such as critics at the Wormwood Society, have given the absinthe moderately high praise. In 2015, Manson stated he was no longer drinking absinthe. An energy drink, called Eat Me, Drink Me, was also produced for a limited time, inspired by Marilyn Manson's album of the same name. Early life and education. Warner was born in Canton, Ohio. He is the only son of Barbara Jo and Hugh Angus Warner. He is of German, English and Irish descent. In an August 12, 2015 interview, Warner claimed that his Appalachian family also has Sioux heritage. In his autobiography The Long Hard Road Out of Hell, he detailed his grandfather's alleged sexual fetishes, including bestiality and sadomasochism. As a child, he attended his mother's Episcopal church, though his father was a Roman Catholic. Warner attended Heritage Christian School from 1st to 10th grade. In that school, they tried to show children what music they were not supposed to listen to. Warner then fell in love with what he wasn't supposed to do. He later transferred to Glen Oak High School and graduated from there in 1987. After relocating with his parents, he became a student at Broward Community College in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in 1990. He was working towards a degree in journalism and gaining experience in the field by writing articles for a music magazine, 25th Parallel. He soon met several of the musicians to whom his own band was later compared, including My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, The Perfect, and Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails. Relationships. Manson was engaged to actress Rose McGowan from February 1998 to January 2001. McGowan later ended their engagement citing lifestyle differences. Manson and Dita Von Teese first met when he asked her to dance in one of his music videos. Though she was unable to, the two kept in contact. On his 32nd birthday, in 2001, she arrived with a bottle of absinthe and they became a couple. Manson proposed on March 22, 2004, and gave her a 1930s 7-carat European round-cut diamond engagement ring. On November 28, 2005, Manson and Von Teese were married in a private, non-denominational ceremony in their home. A larger ceremony was held on December 3 at Gertine Castle, in Kilsheelan, County Tipperary, Ireland, the home of their friend, Gottfried Helnwein. The wedding was officiated by the Chilean surrealist film director and comic book writer Alejandro Jodorowsky. On December 30, 2006, Von Teese filed for divorce due to irreconcilable differences. A.com and People claimed that Manson was having an extramarital affair with then 19-year-old actress Evan Rachel Wood, who was featured in the video for his 2007 single, Heart-Shaped Glasses. The relationship was confirmed by Von Teese in an interview with the Sunday Telegraph. "I wasn't supportive about his partying or his relationship. with another girl, and as much as I loved him, I wasn't going to be part of that. Manson's alcohol abuse and distant behavior were also cited as cause for the split. A judgment of divorce was entered in Los Angeles Superior Court on December 27, 2007. In 2007, attention was brought to Manson's love life again when a relationship with Evan Rachel Wood was made public. Manson and Wood reportedly maintained an on-again, off-again relationship for several years. Manson proposed to Wood during a Paris stage performance in January 2010. But the couple broke off the engagement later that year. In the March 2012 issue of Revolver magazine, American photographer Lindsay Usick was referred to as Manson's girlfriend. The article referenced a new painting by Manson featuring Usick. She is credited as the photo source for the cover art of Manson's 2012 album, Born Villain. It was later confirmed that the two were romantically involved. In February 2015, Manson told Beat magazine that he is newly single. Beliefs. Manson is a self-identified fan of Anton LaVey, an honorary priest in the Church of Satan, and also an advocate of the writings of Aleister Crowley and Friedrich Nietzsche, saying, "I also like Nietzsche and Crowley," and quoting Crowley throughout his autobiography, including the thelemic anthem, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." Crowley's esoteric subject matter forms an important leitmotif in much of Manson's early work. He has been described as the highest-profile Satanist ever, with strong anti-Christian views and social Darwinist leanings. Name. The name Marilyn Manson was formed by juxtaposing the names of two opposing American pop cultural icons, Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson. Monroe, an actress, was one of the most popular sex symbols of the 1950s, and continues to be a major icon over 50 years after. Manson, a cult leader, was responsible for the murder of actress Sharon Tate, as well as several others. He is currently serving a life sentence on murder and conspiracy charges. Manson has mentioned on at least 2 occasions that he trademarked Marilyn Manson. In an interview at the 2015 Cannes Lions Festival, he said, "I trademarked the name Marilyn Manson the same way as Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse. It's not a stage name. It's not my legal name. Marilyn Manson is owned by Brian Warner, my real name." Warner also mentioned this in a 2013 interview with Larry King. In both interviews, Manson reports using these trademark registrations in order to secure a cease and desist order to silence media who were wrongly blaming him for the Columbine High School massacre after one journalist erroneously reported that the shooters were wearing Marilyn Manson makeup and t-shirts. Although the reports were soon debunked, Manson stated, "Once the wheels started spinning, Fox News started going." As a result of such false accusations, Manson found his career was being seriously harmed, such as being shunned by venue owners and receiving death threats. Despite this, the name Marilyn Manson is used by the musician personally. His father, Hugh Warner, has opted to refer to his son as Manson since 1993, saying, "It's called respect of the artist." The records of the United States Patent and Trademark Office show that Warner registered 4 trademarks of Marilyn Manson between 1994 and 1999, protecting entertainment services, merchandising, and branding. Lawsuits. In September 1996, former bassist Gidget Gein negotiated a settlement with Manson, where he would receive in cash 20% of any royalties paid for recordings and for any songs he had a hand in writing and his share of any other royalties or fees the group earned while he was a member. Furthermore, the settlement allowed him to market himself as a former member of Marilyn Manson. This settlement was not honored, however. Former guitarist and founding member Scott Putowski filed a $15 million lawsuit in a Fort Lauderdale court against the singer, the band and the band's attorney in January 1998 after his forcible departure from the group in the spring of 1996. Berkowitz claimed he was cheated by the band out of thousands of dollars in royalties, publishing rights, and performance fees. He also filed an attorney malpractice suit against Kodakov, alleging that Kodakov represented Warner's interests more than the band's, and that he gave Warner disproportionate control over the band's name, recordings, merchandising, and touring proceeds. By October of that year, the suit had been settled out of court for an undisclosed amount. On November 30, 1998, a few days after the band accumulated a total of more than $25,000 in backstage and hotel room damages during the Poughkeepsie, New York stop of their Mechanical Animals tour, Spin editor Craig Marks filed a $24 million lawsuit against Manson and his bodyguards for allegedly assaulting his person and threatening to kill his family. According to Mark's interview with the New York Post, the issue stemmed from Manson's displeasure with the magazine's decision to renege on a promised cover story of the band for their January 1999 cover. According to Marks, the last-minute change was made because Manson's record wasn't performing. The Post described the editor as bruised and battered. Manson, for his part, issued a statement saying, "I had a conversation with Craig Marks expressing I was tired of Spin's immature business behavior and the series of deals they had broken with me. I told him that I didn't care what he prints or whether or not I'm on the cover. I simply no longer wanted to work with him or his magazine that obviously has a lack of respect for musicians and their fans." On February 19, 1999, Manson countersued Marks for libel, slander and defamation. The singer was seeking in reparation, claiming that Marks' statements were false and were made with actual malice, hatred and personal ill will. According to the countersuit, Marks' allegations have greatly damaged and injured Manson's reputation and standing in the music profession, in the music and entertainment industries, in his community, and in the general public, and he has been subjected to great shame, humiliation, and indignity. Marks later dropped the lawsuit. As for the Poughkeepsie incident, Manson apologized and offered to make financial restitution. In a civil battery suit, David Diaz, a security officer from a concert in Minneapolis, Minnesota, on October 27, 2000, sued for it in a Minneapolis federal court. The federal court jury found in Manson's favor. In a civil suit presented by Oakland County, Michigan, Manson was charged with sexual misconduct against another security officer, Joshua Kieseler, during a concert in Clarkston, Michigan, on July 30, 2001. Oakland County originally filed assault and battery and criminal sexual misconduct charges, but the judge reduced the latter charge to misdemeanor disorderly conduct. Manson pleaded no contest to the reduced charges, paid a fine, and later settled the lawsuit under undisclosed terms. On April 3, 2002, Maria St. John filed a lawsuit in Los Angeles Superior Court accusing Manson of providing her adult daughter, Jennifer Syme, with cocaine and instructing her to drive while under the influence. After attending a party at Manson's house, Syme was given a lift home. Manson claims she was taken home by a designated driver. After she got home, she got behind the wheel of her own vehicle and was killed when she crashed it into 3 parked cars. Manson is reported to have said there were no alcohol or other drugs at the party. St. John's lawyer asked, if there were no drinks, no drugs, why would she need a designated driver? The suit alleged Syme was returning to the party at Manson's request. The case was dismissed on May 29, 2003. On August 2, 2007, former band member Stephen Beer filed a lawsuit against Manson for unpaid partnership proceeds, seeking $20 million in back pay. Several details from the lawsuit leaked to the press in November 2007. Additional papers were filed saying that Manson purchased a child's skeleton and masks made of human skin. He also allegedly bought stuffed animals, such as a grizzly bear and 2 baboons, and a collection of Nazi memorabilia. In December 2007, Manson countersued, claiming that Beer failed to fulfill his duties as a band member to play for recordings and to promote the band. On December 28, 2009, the suit was settled with an agreement which saw Beer's attorneys being paid a total of $380,000, of which Manson's insurance company paid $175,000, while the remainder was paid by Beer's former business managers, according to Manson's lawyer Howard King. Charitable causes. Marilyn Manson has supported various charitable causes throughout his career. In 2002, he worked with the Make-A-Wish Foundation to collaborate with a fan who had been diagnosed with a life-threatening illness. 16-year-old Andrew Baines from Tennessee was invited into the band's recording studio to record backing vocals for their then-upcoming album, The Golden Age of Grotesque. Manson said on his website, "Yesterday, I spent the afternoon with Andrew, who reminded me the things I create are only made complete by those who enjoy them. I just want to simply say, thank you to Andrew for sharing such an important wish with me." He contributed to Oxfam's 2013 Rumble in the Jumble event, which raised money to aid victims of domestic and sexual abuse in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. He has supported various organizations, such as Music for Life and Little Kids Rock, which enable access to musical instruments and education to children of low-income families. He has also worked with Project Nightlight, a group that encourages children and teenagers to speak out against physical and sexual abuse. Thank you for watching. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.